other games. Woo! Oh, fuck. So, like, is this or Marvel Rivals? And I think this needs to be played. I can't just leave it where I left it. So. Oh, I have to buy the animations after this. Okay, so literally exactly where I left off. Yeah, so Monodam is freaking out. So to make sense of all that, if both murders have different culprits, then our vote will determine Angie's killer.
Nope.
But we do not know if they're a different culprit, do we? There is a... yeah, we don't. True. We should investigate Tenko's death as well, just in case.
How exciting!
Aha, finally! Things are heating up. I'm getting so excited.
Piece of shit!
Gah, you're fucking psycho.
Shuichi!
Shuichi, this is bad.
Huh?
This is unquestionably bad. I can't believe Tenko was killed. Everyone's upset and confused. And I'm in no shape to help right now.
But you know...
But this is where you need to step up.
Listen up.
Listen, Shuichi. The impossible is possible. All you gotta do is make it so.
Okay.
All right.
Let's check the Monokuma file. Tenko. Alright. Middle floor, enter room. Or middle room. Yep. Time is approximately 11 AM. That is now, pretty much. The only visible injury is a stab wound to the back of the neck. As well. A stab wound on her neck. The same as Angie's cause of death. It doesn't look like a coincidence. Maybe it's Angie's curse. Curse?
Jeez.
God, not again. Curse? Oh my god.
Hey!
What? Curse?
Kaito, calm down!
No way there's a curse! Don't screw around!
You're the one who's screwing around. Do you want to die?
Aw. Just give me a sec, I'm gonna rearrange this. Oh. Might be better just directly on my face, but I don't want it to. One straight ahead. Oh god. I mean, that might be better. Yeah, sure. Turn it down a bit at least. A dull sound reverberated through the room.
Are you okay?
My bad.
My bad, Shuichi. I started to feel bad, but then, for a different reason. I'm gonna get some fresh air, so I'll leave this to you and Maki. Should we resume the investigation? Time is of the essence.
That's correct.
True. We haven't time to mourn Tenko's death, as our own lives are at risk. That is true, but Angie and then Tenko. And to think earlier, it was suspicious of Tenko. I'm sorry,
How can this
Tenko.
be?
It all Gonta's fault. Gonta failed to protect friends again. I have to keep it together. I have to work hard. Because I'm a detective. Resume. Okay.
Well,
Damn. It's too dark in here. We can investigate if we wanted to.
Got it.
Gonzo, bring candles from other room to make this room
No.
bright, okay? No, that won't be necessary. Yeah, that's not necessary at all.
listen up!
Show him, Kibo. Show him your new power.
His eyes lit up. I, Muiruma, the gorgeous girl genius, have installed
There's a
a
lot of-
new function in Kibo.
Can't see any
Just leave it
bits.
to me. I will become the guiding light that shines on you all.
Thank you, Kibo.
Shine on, shine on! Shine.
Okay. Dun. Nice and bright.
Oh, man.
What a lame function. You should have made him like a transformer or
It's okay.
something. But it's bright now, so we should hurry and investigate.
Okay.
Boom, boom. Oh, okay. Don't know why that would need to be a thing. Right. Hole in the corner. There's a small opening in the corner of the room. Doesn't look big enough for a person to get through it, but
Is
still.
this...
I can see something below. It looks like something dropped down there.
Got a minute?
After we check everywhere else, why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves?
Okay.
Okay, why don't we just do it now? It's the white sheet used for the seance. Kyo was the one that put it over.
Is this...
Similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque on the back. There's a blood stain on it right around the middle of the sheet.
But
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I get this one though. It's a wooden dog statue used in the seance. I believe it's called the God Dog. God Dog? Dog God. Took 4 of us to remove it. So the wooden statue is pretty heavy.
if I remember correctly,
Kia said it was 175 pounds. That's about the weight of 2 girls. What do you know about girls? Have you even touched a woman besides your mother?
I'm kidding.
Sure,
Is this...
dickhead.
okay.
That's just uncalled for. Didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. Statue. Anything else?
Leave it to me.
I guess we'll look at the cage near the body. It's the cage used in the seance. Supposed to be around 3 feet high and 5 foot wide. Pretty large iron cage. Big enough for a person to fit inside, yes. It was Himiko who rushed in and removed the cage first. God strength.
Hey, is this...
There's blood stain on the bottom of the cage, probably Tenko's blood.
That's true.
Should hope so.
What do you mean?
Which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the
Okay.
cage. This is when the cage was lifted after the seance. She was already dead. That's a shame.
Then...
She was stabbed right when the cage was lifted. That would explain the bloodstain, right? What? No. We were all looking. There's a rock next to Tenko's body. This must be the marker stone for her head. It's just a stone I brought from the courtyard. Are you sure it'll work? Yep. She really blood. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. According to the Monokuma file, any injury is a stab wound to the neck. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. I didn't hear anything during the seance.
Nope.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
What's the point?
Are you concerned about that, right?
Okay.
With a wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die.
That's obvious.
By
the way,
the real question is, what was she killed with? Doesn't seem a murder weapon around. Don't have to look at the bloodstain this time. Oh, crooked floorboard. This floorboard is loose. That's the only, and it's the one right under Tenko.
Why?
If I remember correctly,
It wasn't like this before. It must have come loose during the
Why?
seance.
but
A floorboard this thick and heavy wouldn't have come loose easily. And someone must have loosened it on purpose. Yeah. Who's in the room? Let's talk to Himiko.
Hey!
Himiko! Hey, Himiko! Be strong, Himiko! She's going to
What?
break. But she's not talking. It's like Himiko not even here.
Like I thought.
Okay. I don't think there's much else really. She talks about seance
cannot
man.
be.
Why? Why did this?
I knew it.
Kyo, I know the murder was pretty
But
shocking.
course,
Of course, I am shocked about that as well. But why did the seance fail? We performed all the steps flawlessly. Maybe the person who was meant to be talking
yes.
died.
this is stupid.
Cut the crap. Just tell us what happened during the seance. Both you and Shuichi were present, right? Did she get killed
I
during the
see,
seance?
Yes.
True. It may be the best to move past what happened to know why the seance failed.
Is that so?
At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko, the spirit medium, position herself as a turtle with the magic circle so her head touched the stone. Then Shuichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tenko. After that, I placed the white cloth over the cage. Then the dog was placed on top. Afterwards, we stood in the four corners of the room. Kokichi and Shuichi blew out the candles.
Yes.
Finally, we all sang the cage child song. The seance should have been complete, but now you mention it, I remember hearing a strange sound during the song. Thunk. It is a mystery to me as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps.
What do you mean?
Yes.
And we called out to her, but no reply came. I had Shuichi and Kokichi relight the candles. And then we removed the items within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the god statue. Next, I took off the white cloth, and then Himiko ran over to the cage at the moment she lifted it. Then it sounds like Tenko was definitely killed during the seance. But would it not be difficult in such darkness? Because she was inside the cage, yes?
Then?
Well, that's... I see, yes.
There is another problem, and that is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone moved from their corner? Did someone else sneak in there?
What's the point?
Who else do we talk to?
Oh, man.
Man, what a lame function. Should have made him with like... Oh, okay. Is that what you want to say? Okay. Okay. I always want to make sure whatever she's saying before I say it. One of you stupid assholes who signed up to those bullshit sounds in the first
No.
place?
Huh?
Huh? Seriously? This seance was cleverly set up to lure her in and kill her. How does someone who wasn't in the room kill her?
Could it be...
So you believe that Tenko was killed during the
moron!
seance? There's no other possibility, shit for brains. God, you don't even know that. Everything points to Kyo already. I mean, she was killed in the dark, I'm positive. What exactly was Tenko killed after the candle was blown out? There may be important points to this case. I think the thunk. Still something in here? It's the magic circle Kyo drew on the floor. Well, at least was. It's been completely stomped over. I suppose it was unavoidable.
Well,
Yes.
Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt.
What?
You feeling alright? You sound ridiculous. Ridiculous? I've performed so many successful seances. Why, I've even had spirits enter my butt.
I'm right already.
Shut up. I don't want to hear about your stupid delusions.
But...
So what? Hey,
Circle.
Hey!
We've finished investigating up here. Perhaps we should check under the
by
floor.
the way,
That's true.
okay.
There's something on the back wall, was there not? Yep. Then we carefully made our way through the hole and under the floor. Oh, there's a lot of space. This is a lot more spacious than I thought. You could move pretty easily on all fours.
Okay.
Let's look around for
Well-
clues. Be pretty stupid if we found no clues after crawling around in this dusty place.
Okay.
Candle. Or the hole, yeah, the hole works. Some of the wood is corroded and it's broken off, so you can see into the next room. This is the wall of the empty room, right? It looks like there's wood along the wall. This part is rotted away. Looks like natural rot. This hole wasn't made intentionally. Okay.
That's true.
Then the culprit could have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of using the hallway.
No.
Nope.
Well,
I mean, no. But if you ask keyboard to turn off the light and then see if you can see lights. Hello. It's just a sickle. There's a sickle here, and there's blood all over it.
okay.
The blood on the sickle is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon.
Is this...
This came from my research lab.
Huh?
Well...
It can be thrown without losing any lethality. And you can hide it under your clothes too.
Well,
Okay. If he was attacked with this, we wouldn't stand a chance. The blade is about 6
That's
inches.
right.
but
How did the copper attack Tenko in the cage? The blade could fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it reach her
That's
neck?
true. Hey,
Hey, if the murder weapon is down here, the culprit must have thrown it
that's
away,
true.
right? Okay, yeah. It all points to... That's cut.
Ah,
That's purposefully cut as well. Oh look, part of the crosspiece that supports the floorboards is cut off.
that's true.
It's near the loose floorboard, and the portion missing is about the same width too. From what I
That's
can
true.
see of it. It wasn't broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. There should be saws in the warehouse, so they could have used that. Yeah, this is annoying. Because we have to find Angie's killer.
Then...
I don't know how Angie died. So all this investigating is pretty much useless. Blood dripping through the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood, definitely Tenko's blood. And dried blood. Dried blood? But that's pretty far from where Tenko's blood is dripping down. It's under the same floorboard, just at different ends. Why is there blood here?
Hey,
The back of this floorboard, there's blood on it.
ah,
You're right, there's a little bit of blood on the underside.
what do you mean?
No,
That's true.
can't be.
okay.
All these blood stains here are completely dry. Okay. Well, that's literally all the investigating.
Is that all right?
Mackie, do you want to head back up? This is very weird. After Mackie and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboard back and returned to our investigation. Damn.
By the way,
We've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise?
because
If Angie and Tenko have different killers, then the black room we need to vote for
You're
is Angie's killer.
then
Okay, but
There was something over here, right? Or is it just them two? Candle hung on the wall. Only source of light in the room. There's no windows in this room, so without candles it was pitch black. But how did the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? Here we go to the right one first. Oh, okay. Something interesting's happening.
It's a lie!
Shit. I knew that was a lie. What the hell was falling off? Oh. Sorry. This cheeky little git. Did I surprise you? Are you gonna scream and cry in terror?
oh,
Oh, sorry. I'm just a little lightheaded from the blood loss, yeah? This is real blood.
why?
I got curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. And suddenly, I stepped through the floorboard.
Huh? That's so mean.
Jeez, that got me good. Because of this, I tripped and fell pretty hard.
got a minute?
If you're going to lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything.
Ah,
I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kind of stepped through. Wait,
huh?
what? We can't be going now?
Confidence, dreams. That's what the killing game is all about.
So,
Killing game fans, hold your head high and watch with your own two eyes.
okay.
Baseball, soccer, mobile games. They're all nothing compared to the killing game. The killing game just can't be beat. Behold, students, the entrance to the trial grounds.
What? We can't go now.
Oh. Huh?
See?
I wanted to research the seance again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately,
Man.
I couldn't find anything new that could be used as a clue. At least you're hoping. Drew the magic circle in the same exact way as the picture. So he must have gone in the other room to do a test to see that everything would work the way he wanted. I guess. I don't really know. Well, I wanted to check out the finer details, but I'll tell you about it later. At the class trial, so let's see you there.
That's true. Do you want to die?
What are you staring at? Do you want to die? Nah, not really. I'm just... Am I not allowed in? Oh, mate, come on. 2 people dead. Gotta figure out Angie's killer. That's dumb.
Oh dear.
It would appear all of us have gathered, but it seems there are less and less of us.
Oh.
I wonder why that is. Asshole. Less friends mean it much harder to solve mystery.
Don't worry.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure we've gotten a little smaller by now, Gonzo. I'd want you to graduate from super idiot level to at least Kaito idiot level.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
Are you okay?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm feeling better now. But, wow. Mackie Roll sure does
I know.
pack a punch.
That being said,
Can we go in?
hoo-yah!
Do we have to listen to everyone talk?
Unacceptable.
As though every time you open your mouth, you become more or less
Rest in
likable.
peace.
But
Maybe difficult for us to rely on Atua, considering what happened to Angie, whom Atua loves most of all.
now, I also,
So what? Robots can believe in God.
indeed.
Actually, before I met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean. You might call it an inner voice, but it tells me what to do whenever I'm in trouble.
Got a minute?
How long are you gonna stay like that for? Atua and ghosts don't matter right now.
Huh?
Can
right.
we go on
Right
to
on.
the thingy?
Hey, so
Suichi, say something. Something. Come on. Let me get my water. Ow, that hurt. Oh. And chair. Comfy yet painful at the same time. Oh. Oh, no one said to talk to me this time. Trial. Whoops. It was a really short investigation as well. Perhaps because there are fewer of us, the elevators seem to move faster. That doesn't make sense. Alright, no voice acting time, just brain time. The light that shines on us from the other side, the bright light of our future. Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Boy, they look really depressed. Must be because there's less participants now. Don't say that. They look depressed. You'll make Monodam sad. As much as I love to keep hearing that adorable back and forth,
Now then,
let's hurry up and get this started.
scream!
Okay. Yep, that scene. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Yep. She hated men, and I'm sure that she hated this terrible killing game even more. She probably hated dying even more. But, you know, we'll see. 2 left on that page. Everyone's left on that page, Jesus. 3 left. And there's no other page. Cool. Move this like that. I will fight with the truth and lies in this clash trial. Yes, please. Bam. Class trial in session.
Ahem. Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is and vote for who done it.
Yeah.
Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy. Also, refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now,
I know if I should move
smiles,
everything
everyone.
over.
It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Whoops.
Who did it?
Oh.
Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Himiko's pissed.
Do not let your
She
emotions
literally
hasten your
killed her
judgment. There
favourite
may
people.
be two killers.
There we go.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
What are you on about?
What do you mean?
The transfer student.
Doesn't exist.
Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
What do you want me to say? Like, oh wait, yeah, no, that she didn't even get to finish the thingy. Oops.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased.
Right, I've got enough to play. Silencers A. Confirm truth bullet. Shoot bullet. Hold for lie. RB is going. Okay, yeah.
Life killed two of our classmates.
No! So, ritual did work?
No. Oh,
That's wrong!
got it through.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
Yep.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Thank you, Kiba.
Then, Gonta think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Thank you, Gonta.
I guess you're right.
Okay.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Now hold on a second! I can't let that comment stand!
Can't you?
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking
Can we
about?
do it now?
There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Oh, then let me do it.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally
Dude.
possible.
Man, I
can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive.
2.
You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Me is all that we made.
Monodum is still alive, though.
Showtime.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Yes, Sandy's a robot, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
He is just in shock.
so resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
Yep.
There's no way it's possible!
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who did it? Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this.
Okay.
I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
What? Why?
Okay. This is moving fast.
Don't play dumb with me, Creepshow. I already know what happened.
Do tell.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie,
What's the other one? Sumugi.
and it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
Sure.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in.
Oh, yeah, breaking in.
That's wrong!
I actually got that right. You could break in,
No,
technically.
Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah, before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
There must have been a moment when she left
Kyo is not
and
a
he
member.
got
She
in
wouldn't have opened the door for him.
because she wouldn't be able to lock it from the
Kyo couldn't
outside.
have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Thank you, Mia.
Whoa, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta,
Blocked. You have been
Kibo,
blocked.
Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Yep.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
Mm-hmm.
I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's believe in them.
She got a weird
That
swirly
trims our
cross.
list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi,
And-
Kibo.
Oh, she got angel
Yep,
wings and a
The
halo.
culprit
That's
is
sweet.
one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? Because a robot ain't people, Jack.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations
Simp.
just a tad too hasty?
Whatevs. The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well,
No, not
I
Gonta.
really don't
Gonta
know.
would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Just because
Hey,
Guns as a
stick up for
gentleman
me,
doesn't
too.
back you up.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
Yeah.
I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Right.
I'm not the
We're
culprit.
not the
Oh,
culprits.
guy. Okay. Oh, not this. Master panic debate.
We must consider
Gonta,
other
gentlemen.
possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
that's utterly impossible.
For last night?
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only
It's not
student
that
council
bad.
members had
Too late
access.
at night.
Look, I don't know who the
Ask
I didn't know
Mike.
robots
Kyo
told such
doubt
boring
Gonta.
lies.
But it's definitely not
Is
me.
that a robophobic remark?
Hey, chill out. Would it be Smokey's account as well?
Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
That's
do you
utterly
have an
impossible.
alibi for last night?
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only student council members.
Yes, Kokichi, you actually dug yourself into a hole, you idiot. It took me a second.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Yeah. But...
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
Okay.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab.
We're 51
snuck
minutes
into the
in, you
room,
didn't do
and
shit.
then wham! Killed Angie.
What do you mean,
Culprit
wham?
was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better.
What happened to your concussion? Like,
Wait.
please.
So Kokichi?
Get
no,
out.
he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie.
Frenchie.
Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
No.
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? It's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Yeah, but the
Maybe,
back door
but
had
that's not
gold
how
on
the
it.
culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method? Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
I'm right next to you.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was... That's it! The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used
Magnets.
a certain tool.
Could it have been the sickle? Can't have, right? What would be down here? Monokuma. Is that a secret Monokuma? Dude, he could not have used the katana itself. Okay, that was a hidden Monokuma. What? How?
I see it.
Or are we just talking about the gold leaf?
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
You've got to be shitting me.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
What?
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school
That's
bell.
dog shit.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
I don't believe
Now,
it,
that
man.
doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigy's hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
What?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
Okay.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Is it just so they could have them turn and then let go for them to spin? Because it'd be like a swing? Okay. 2, 1, 5 lanes. Okay. Let's go. Who turned the handle of the sliding lock? Kaede. Going by your logic, Kaede. What? Oh, yeah. Still Kaede. What options do I get? Okay, yeah. Sup, B? I'm in like complete focus right now. Man, I wish I had friends to play this with. What was done to make the katana turn the lock? Spin the effigy? Okay, cool. Alright, one more. No, I'm missing them all. Come on. How was the effigy manipulated to make the counterfeit the lock? By being hung upside down? Or by being spun? Both? Yeah, it'd just be spinning it. Good! I think that's about right.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
Effigy. The effing G.
That's right.
Yes.
If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist.
That does make sense. Oh my thing's weird.
Then,
What are you
if you let
acting
it
up?
go, the rope would unwind
And-
and the effigy would spin the other way.
Okay. My whole thing's
And of
being
course,
weird.
the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
May need to
The
give that a
culprit
restart.
simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave.
Sure.
This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
This is very precise.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked.
Sorry, give me a sec. We have to make a PNG
By using
tube.
the effigy with a
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
There we go. That's fixed now. I don't know why it's capturing my mouth. But,
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
yes. Because it's poorly
The
made.
sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
No.
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
So that's why they used the sword.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
That's good.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out.
Didn't you do that before?
If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious.
True.
Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the
That's
corner and
a
play
good
with
idea. That
yourself!
would work.
Okay, I'll start right now.
If they were an idiot.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't
True.
you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Jesus Christ.
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum
What?
dumpster!
What should we talk about now?
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
Because if they said they wanted to join the council, then Angie would let them in.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
No?
A suspect? I'd never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
Yep,
I
that's what
agree.
you are.
Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Okay.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I
Sure.
want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Would you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless! Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you!
That's the most
Poor
you've spoken
Tenko!
of.
How could you do this to her? Himiko.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
They're just hitting nerves.
Everything you said is total BS.
Jesus.
You didn't give two shits
I
about
can't
Tenko
sit and
when
watch
she was
this.
alive.
Jesus. This movie is getting
But now you're like, oh no,
Whoa.
poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before.
Sorry, I'm playing with a
That's
slinky
why-
that's on my desk.
I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive.
Oh.
But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth.
I want Rihanna
I'm not
to
gonna
be
let
alive.
anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse.
Cool.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run. I won't forgive something so messed up.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know
Well,
how
I don't know
Tenko
why you
died.
would do it.
If we don't find
I know-
out who
I know
killed
who
her,
it
we
is,
won't be able
but
to
it's
work
like-
together. Not now, not ever.
I don't know why.
Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death.
The most surprised I've been in this game is
Not
because
just to
of news
survive this
comments
trial,
and
but so we
Angie's
can
death.
keep going and live on.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Jeez, you're so zesty.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap.
Stand up.
We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's
At least I can
case,
listen
then.
all.
Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I should get a standing desk in the future, one that can sit and stand. Life goal.
So what do we talk about first?
Your mama.
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrouch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Yes.
Tancrouch?
What about Two-Crotch? Tupac? Kyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi. Yes.
That's it!
Don't give me names,
It
game.
was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
We all planned it together.
Himiko still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
Damn.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
Sure.
If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
I guess so.
Well, Well, I suppose, but...
But
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either.
yeah, it was.
I
Ah, fuck. No, let me go back. I was not the only one who selected the room we performed in. It was Himiko. No, he did it in all 3 rooms. So he didn't want to test it would work. The killer did
Oh,
it in every room, just in case they picked a different one that he didn't want to do it in.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
What? Did it?
There!
And no one's fitting through that.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Under the floor.
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person can move through.
I don't know about the dried blood.
There was
though.
also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me.
Okay.
Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Yeah. Who? Alright, what do we use?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
What? The room is dark. You denying the entire theory? Oh.
Damn it!
Alright.
The culprit sneaked in
Let's listen
during
to
the
the full thing.
seance by crawling under the floor.
I like that. That
But
whole
it was pitch black
thing.
during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor
What?
and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
No, you're fine, man.
The culprit sneaked in during seance by
It would be the hole in the corner, because if there was light, you'd be able to see
But
it through the
was
hole,
pitch black during the seance.
like what I said earlier.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
That's wrong!
We got this.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor. There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot.
Racist.
My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
What?
All right, you made your point. God, Now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch-black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Yeah, then they'd have to push on top of Tenko.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta.
Or
Are you
below
finally getting
Tenko.
used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd
Would
let
have
the
been
culprit
seen.
find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Right.
Boy,
Why do you
that
know
sounds
about glowing
really
paint?
familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yeah, that's the
corpse
first
didn't have
that
any
killed in
trace of glowing
Danganronpa
paint,
2.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
Why would she know about that?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right?
Yeah.
If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
Yeah, it will.
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Why do you want to divert it?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
Nah.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
You mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it would be Angie speaking through you. Understood? I will not say another word till the seance is over. That was the wrong
Yes.
voice. I am sorry.
She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark.
Impossible.
It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory.
You weren't in the room.
Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
What? Don't be like that. Okay, these are all new.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and she was dead when the cage was lifted.
Mm-hmm.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh,
No.
like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast.
No.
So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who
Look
lifted the
out.
cage?
It was me.
Yarr.
Then
What-
obviously
what's wrong with
Himiko
her?
is the culprit.
No.
I was wrong.
When Tenko got killed,
How do I speed this up again?
it wasn't during the
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
There's no doubt!
When
I
Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. She
okay.
was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real
Oh
fast.
shit. Okay, yeah, yeah.
So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
Please stop
So who lifted
climaxing.
the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
No.
No doubt!
Sake.
When Tenko got killed,
It wasn't during the seance.
It could have been done at...
Any other time. She was under the cage the whole time.
She was dead.
When the cage was lifted.
What about cage was lifted?
Just hit it. You have got to be shitting me. Thank you.
That's wrong!
That scared me then.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel
Fucking
right
hell.
here!
Made me jump.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
You weren't there.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lit. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the cage.
True.
And that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit. And that's none other than Kyo! The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck exposed.
Is that alright?
Oh no!
What?
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
There we go.
I'll cut through your
What's
words!
the other one? See, because you weren't there. Shut up.
Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that
Yeah,
position.
we're tingle in my neck thinking about a knife.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
Stupid.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes.
Ah! How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
Man, I'm fed up with this guy.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Screw
Stop that
you.
now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
That wouldn't have
Himiko?
happened.
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
Why
What
do
if
you believe
Tenko
it?
killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See, you can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that.
wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
What?
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
Mate, please.
No, if there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Nonsense.
What?
There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
No. I really don't. Oh, she thinks it's suicide.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Are you saying Tenko was the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out.
No, that's not right.
She
Otherwise the circle
volunteered to
wouldn't
be
have
in
been
the
hidden.
cage and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
That is true. That could be true.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
After she... No.
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Because being stabbed in the neck
Well,
is...
it doesn't make
just-
sense to me.
Thank you,
There's no
Himiko.
reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Thank you, Himiko.
Maybe I wasn't too far
This-
off with the theory I had earlier. You know,
It-
about Tenko killing Angie.
Maki said herself, quick and painless.
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your
well,
attention,
even if not
right?
painless, quick.
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really?
Yeah, people
There
are
could
selfish.
only be
like
one
that.
reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Whoa.
Take us down?
I hate that face. Stop
She
looking at
wanted
me.
us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial. So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
Still.
What are you saying? Tenko wasn't... She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait! We should believe Tenko's last words!
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all
Dude.
just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets.
Yep.
What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
They
Well,
can.
duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking.
Oh,
That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself.
investigation.
If you get betrayed, it's not their fault.
On the
It's
trial,
your fault
I mean.
for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Says
Well,
you.
we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Whether or not I believe. My heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
I
Yes,
think so.
there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't know what we're aiming for here. Ah. And why aren't you saying this out loud?
So far,
Wait, what
suicide
were the
seems to be
options?
the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Okay.
Finally, with the last of her strength.
Oh.
I was wrong!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
What does the file say?
Tenko's not that...
Back. Could be that.
kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, It would explain how she died during the seance.
Tenko died in a crouched position. The injury on her back of her neck was deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately. She died in that position though.
Could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Do they?
So far, suicide...
It's not that.
seems to be the best explanation.
On the corner of the room, the science told him, space under the floor so you can see what was dropped there. Oh, okay.
Her plan
was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions. But Tenko did commit suicide. It would explain how she died during the seance. She could have secretly brought the sickle
and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength.
Nope.
Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the
sickle. Nope.
I was wrong!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
I need to go back around. I want to shoot that one.
With the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Yeah.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
I don't know. Oh, dang. Trial. Got it. Oh, got it.
Damn it!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
I'm pretty sure I shot this one with Tenko's last
Finally,
moment.
with the last
Thing. What? That's what it said. Okay.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Okay.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko
I'm
did
running low on
commit
life here.
suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor.
Oh no!
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle, and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally,
with the last of her strength.
I'll reveal the truth.
Took way too long.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor. Because she died instantly.
instantly.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
Oh, she's going along with it.
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
How could you forget that, Maki Roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
I haven't heard of it. I plan to play
It's okay,
Doki
Kaito,
Doki
really.
itself.
No apology necessary.
Welcome Mineral Berry.
Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of
No,
the
I
sickle.
haven't heard of
Knowing
Tsunaragi
the
Chess
theory
School,
that she killed
Just like I thought.
if that does exist.
Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
But I do plan to
Thank
play
goodness,
Doki Doki
Himiko.
at some point.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Are we?
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
Yes, all of us did.
If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Is it just inspired, or is it made by the same people?
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
What? How can that not match?
Damn it!
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall, I think.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough.
Okay, so it's just Himiko's account we have to go with.
Did anything
Out of the ordinary during the seance? There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something.
I agree.
Dun, 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 dun.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
Kiwa keeps dancing around this sound that happened during it. No, it wasn't a bang before. It went thunk.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard.
There's nothing that could have done that.
Fallen down.
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but...
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Maybe that sound had something to do with another thing that happened in the dark.
This is it! I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Could the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
Yeah, it's true. It would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. What was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Another non-stop debate to puzzle my brain.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
Jesus.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
Sniped. Damn.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
To solve this case, we need to think carefully about the crosspiece and floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on, yes. Only one of the cross pieces was cut, the other two were intact. One of them was right under Tenko, and the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Oh my god. Can I have a hint? Damn. There is a button there I can press. I know it. Okay, S-T. 0-T. Lose. Right, is it? E? Okay, seesaw. Effect. Oh, I could have sworn that was it. Let's go. Alright, we're getting there. Hopefully.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Yeah? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two cross pieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Nice.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that, unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
Okay, so we're already really close to figuring out who killed Tenko.
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The only place the sickle could have been that consistent with the evidence.
That's it! The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage.
And who put the fabric on the cage?
Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
Hell yeah.
She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouch position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
You said it.
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
This shit is not heavy enough to do that.
It was you, wasn't it?
I didn't press
The
anything.
one behind the seesaw
Oh, okay.
homicide.
Huh? Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
That's wrong.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
Even though, yes, it doesn't add up because she didn't do anything with the cloth or the cage.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko. All the...
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
No.
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
This tree using the middle room was Himiko's idea. But does that mean Himiko really killed Tenko? Something so cruel. Oh, intermission. Nice. Doesn't make much of a difference because I'm continuing.